Hello, everybody. It's Kathy. I'm just hopping on here to do a quick live because I've been getting some emails and questions about doing online courses. So we're probably going to do a workshop in the next coming months. But I thought what I would do today is outline. I just made a few notes on some things that you can think about as you're getting ready to do your online course. So the basics of doing an online course are really no different than creating any other maybe CEU lecture you've done before, or even just creating, a class at your hospital. So I want you to lean on things that you've done before, whether you've taught nursing school or you've ever been invited to be part of a lecture or a conference at your hospital. The same skills that you have used for that can translate into creating your own online course, which you can give away or sell or, even license to hospitals and things like that. So I've given some lectures before on creating digital products, and courses are just one of many different types of digital products that nurses can create. So whether you're creating checklists or whether you're creating ebooks or creating tip sheets, courses are just another way to exchange or to share your information and your knowledge and expertise with others. So it's just another way to get your expertise out there. So when you're thinking about creating an online course or creating any online product, first you have to do is just choose your topic. Choose what you're going to teach. And so this becomes difficult because as nurses, we know a lot about a lot. So I just want to encourage you to pick something, and you can brainstorm, a variety of topics, but just start with one. So narrow it down and choose one to just kind of test and start. So first is choosing your topic. I think that is, of course, the best place to start. Then after you've done that, you've chosen a topic, you can just spend some time brainstorming and just use an outline format of, creating a list of 3 to 5 kind of subtopics or, learning objectives, right? So if you lean back on creating a lecture in the past, this would be the same. You lean on the learning objectives. At the end of the course, the participant will be able to do what? What will be the result that they get? Some people will call it the promise. What is the promise that you give? What is the problem that you will solve? And who the person who will benefit from taking your course? So, kind of to summarize that, there's the problem that you will be solving, there's the person, so who's your audience, and then there's the promise. What is the result or transformation that will happen when someone is taking your course? So, as you're thinking about those 3 things, you can begin to write your outline about, what are the common pitfalls? What are the biggest mistakes? In the past, I've been able to share with you, my idea of how you share your expertise. You can do that through sharing tips, that's shortcuts, tactics, which are just kind of, again, your hacks of how you, how you do something. So tips, tactics, truths and lies, right? Myths that happen around this topic. And then, of course, you can think about, actually, sharing transformations as well. So tips, tricks, all of that are ways that you can share your information. So choose your topic, outline, the subtopics within that, and then think about where are the people who want and need this? Who, those people, again, who are you serving? Who are you taking care of with your material? So again, where do they hang out? So that will be where you would market your information. And then once you have some people who are interested in your topic, you can do a small beta launch by offering maybe a mini course or a single 1-hour webinar, maybe a mini workshop to just test your idea, basically validating that there is an interest and that this is the right kind of problem you can solve. And then really you can launch from there. And so hopefully that is helpful where, thinking about the steps, right? Outline your course, then, thinking, find your topic, outline your course. What are the topics? What are the problems you solve? What are the pain points that your potential student will have? What's the promise you can make at the end, your learning objectives, and then basically launching it. So marketing it, launching it. And then there are several different places where you can host courses online. So there are many sites that you can, sign up for very low cost, and you can host your course there, and they take a significant percentage of that. They may take 10%, 20%, 30% of your commission in exchange for hosting that, but it will cost you very little to start up. There are other platforms that charge you per student or per month a certain amount. So different sites that I've used in the past are things like Thinkific or Podia. There are some very robust ones like Kajabi, as well as, I think Thinkific is probably one of the most popular, as well as places like Udemy, Skillshare, Teachable. These are all platforms that you could potentially deliver your course. I'm excited that we are going to be launching our own course platform and marketing system for nurse entrepreneurs starting in May. And so we have an upcoming event where you'll be able to learn more about that and get a demo of our system, and learn about partnering with us if you would like to launch your course through our platform. So it's going to be called RN Biz Hub. It's going to be a place where you can house your courses or do consulting and other things as well. So I'm excited that that's coming soon to help take all this tech headache away. So let's see. I know I had other questions. So somebody asked me, how can I sell my courses online but not start a business? Well, selling online is still a business. So I just want to be clear that, even if you were to host your course and deliver it as slides, let's say as a PDF ebook on Etsy, it would still generate revenue, which then is going to flow through to you and be taxable income. So even though you don't per se maybe incorporate or get an LLC, anytime you sell something online, you are technically starting a business. But I think what the person's point was, is like, maybe I don't want to go through all of doing an LLC right now. So that's fine. Just get a doing business as certificate from your local county or state. And that would be just you as an individual nurse doing business as, and you can name it whatever. Then you get an EIN number from the IRS, and you can then open a bank account, and then any money that's generated from your course can flow through to you through your new business bank account. So even if that means $100 comes in and $100 goes out, the money is coming through your business and then onto you as the beneficiary of that. So I do advise keeping those things separate as early on as possible. Another thing that people ask about is CEUs. So should I offer CEUs? How do I offer CEUs? And that is a longer conversation. But to say yes, of course, if your target audience are nurses, then yes, you should look into the ability to offer continuing education credit for nurses, physicians, therapists, social workers, OTs, PTs. They all have different boards, and there are different requirements for each of those. So as a nurse, I do nursing CEUs. Certainly I could get assistance and do CMEs, or I could do therapy, continuing education credits, but I tend to stay with nursing because that's what I know. So you can get your courses accredited through large organizations like ANCC, or you can go through state organizations, or you can even go through private organizations who are acting as accreditors for other groups. So getting CEUs is possible. You will need to do a needs assessment. You will need to, get all the bios and information about yourself or speakers if you have guest speakers. You will need to do conflicts of interest and disclosures. And there's a list of things requirements that are needed in order to offer CEUs. It's just a matter of just following the rules, and then you can get your course accredited. So that is also something people ask. So we talked about content. We talked about your, kind of ways that you can teach what you might teach. We've talked about CEUs. We've talked about some platforms of how you might deliver that. We've talked a little bit about marketing. Of course, you can use social media. You can run ads. You can partner with someone else to market your course for you. So there's lots of different ways to get your course known and out there. And then the last thing I want to mention is cost. So how much should you charge? Well, this is a very difficult question to answer. So I would say you could start with anywhere from $10 to $20 per hour of course content. That might help you as a place to begin. That's usually what online CEU courses cost, are around $20 per hour. But it really depends on what you're delivering. So there are people who will spend thousands and thousands of dollars on weight loss coaching, or on, financial and business coaching classes. It depends on how much of a transformation you're going to deliver. It depends on how much time and money you're going to save the other person. So it's really hard to put a price on courses. It really depends on what you think the market will bear and what would you pay for something like that. So thinking of the cost is really hard. But I would say if you're feeling like your course is so big and for a low price, and you feel like that's devaluing it, then break your course down into sections. Sell it as, part 1, part 2, part 3, and allow people to opt in for that smaller course to start, get to know you, really love it, and then to build up to part 2, part 3. So you can always break your course apart. You can also, tweak it as you go. But there's really no right and wrong as to how much you can charge for an online course. It really depends on the value your participants will place on what you're delivering to them. Whether that's, again, saving them time, saving them money, helping them with their health, whatever they value, they will then in exchange value that back, to you for money. So it's really difficult to say, how much should my course be worth? I don't know. I mean, some people charge $100 for a retreat, and some people charge $10,000 for a retreat. Tony Robbins gets, people to spend $5,000 for a weekend. That's what his, people value what his time is. So it really does depend. And again, I would go back to transformation. What's the value of that transformation to the other person? So I think that's all that I wanted to share with you really quickly on this, this particular one. We've got, just some tips about creating your course. Pick that topic, outline your topic, decide if you're going to offer CEUs or not, test it, get a few people in to kind of test your idea, expand, go bigger over time, figure out the cost, and then find those people and capture them and nurture them. When we're talking about sales, you do never forget, we need that know, like, trust, try, buy. That is that sales funnel that we try to move things through, and as people get to know you and to get closer to you. So I think I'll wrap it up there for today. I'll look in the chat for any comments or questions. I don't see any right now, but I'll be checking the Facebook group and doing all of that. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial about how to create online courses, and leave the comments in the Facebook group or in the Facebook group below, Facebook group or on YouTube, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have, and be sure to invite you to any of our future webinars where we dive deeper into this topic. I would love to know what else you'd like to know about creating courses, and happy to hop back on another time. So, I will definitely keep you all posted as we get close to releasing RN Biz Hub, which is going to be our own course platform for helping nurses get their courses online. So that will be coming soon. So we'll be announcing more about that in April, and taking our first cohort of 10 nurses who want to get started with us in May. So just to give you a little sneak peek that that's coming. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Bye.